Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here. And I'm Mario here. We are back for some more yet again for the likes of the Muxy Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 for the Nintendo Switch. So last time we have managed to able to explore previous destinations in between, I would say in the forms of in the skateboard park event, as well as from that, during the forms of in Tokyo 1964, we did manage to already done the long jump as well as two mini-game activities here and there. As well as from that, there's also the ones in, Tokyo Tower that we have to climb all the way up to get ourselves some, some passes before we get into the forms of the next events. So today for this episode, speaking of these next few events, we're going to be dive right into the forms of that particular section over there, but it appears to be, as soon as when this loading screens are done, it appears to be we're going to be explored onto Omi Obon Sports Park, which, for what I've gathered, it's basically, I would say, a sports climbing event, which appears to be another one of those new events introduced in this game, even including the forms of the actual Tokyo 2020 itself. So either way though, first of all, we're gonna go for these cinematic cutscenes, even though it's text heavy. What? You want the game back already? Come on. You can let me play with it a little longer, can't you? Hey, did you know Eggman, Mario, and Sonic all showed up in this game too? And the competition's really heating up, so don't bother me, okay? Go away. Well, the whole gang's here. This game is more popular than I thought. Bowser Jr. is really into it now, though. It looks like he won't be done with it for a while. You have to wait anyway, so why not take me on in the event here? When we're done, we'll have your turn at the game. Sounds like a plan, right, Bowser Jr.? Ugh. None of you ever stop talking. I'll give it back if I feel like it. I'll take Rouge on. Make sure you cheer me on, everybody. Better watch yourself, princess. I don't hold back for anybody. And from here though is the fact that this is where we're able to actually come across into guest characters. Yes, much like in Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, once again, just like in the forms of in the tournament mode from Rio 2016 is the fact that we're actually going to be competing against with certain unlockable characters that can able to actually play as them once again, just like the forms of the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, except the fact that, well, guest characters are now going to be participating in different events. Even though there might be some exceptions, mind you, which we'll get to that more on that, details onto that, whenever we continue proceeding for this game during, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, potentially. So, anywho. So yeah, here we go with, as I said before, one of the new Olympic events that we're actually going to be competing on, and that was the fact that we are about to be taking on sports climbing. And basically in this particular event we have to get a lot of usage on these analog stick controls, like you can able to control the left hand with the left analog stick, or if you're controlling the right hand you always have to rely on the actual right analog stick. So pretty interesting all things considered. But either way though, we're just gonna have to concentrate here. Especially noticeable how the fact that you need to keep an eye out with your heart meter as a result for that too. Just because of how the fact that how the fact that with the sports climbing event is always like becomes one of the most exhilarating things, I suppose. So anywho. So, after when you're able to win certain events, if you manage to compete against with the guest character, then much like in Rio 2016 Olympic Games, you weren't able to actually just to unlock them from anywhere else. However though, unlike in Rio 2016 Olympic Games counterpart, is the fact that you can able to try this particular event, if you keep on losing and such, and then you can able to retry that event time and time again, just in case you get yourselves another extra chance for able to actually unlock a different character, instead of in Rio 2016 system, where you only have to do it just once. But if you somehow lose to the rival, then, well, you're just gonna have to try the previous attempts in the tournament modes again or something. So, but either way, yeah, that's just how it goes basically. So even then though, we did manage to beat Rouge in sports climbing, which I think she was the guest character in the specific event, unlike Rio 2016 beach volleyball. Well, nicely done. I didn't expect you to get the better of me in this event. I'm quite an athlete when I give it all in my all, you know. What? By the way, where's Bowser Jr.? He was here just a minute ago. We have to find him and get the game system back. Why don't you go and take a look at some other venues? He should still be nearby. And let's just say we've now unlocked Rouge the Bat in the forms of sports climbing, as you can see right here. So that means if we manage to go on to quick match mode, this means that we can now able to actually play as her anytime as we want. However though, much like in Rio 2016 Olympic Games, however though, is the fact that I said this before already, that those characters are only specifically one of those events. However though, unlike in Rio 2016 Olympic Games, not every single guest characters are going to be participating in some of these events. Like, as you remember from the 100-meter sprint, as well as the skate sport park, basically, normally we get ourselves the guest character to compete against during that specific time. However though, well, we'll explain more on that later, because for now, we're about to be headed over to Aquatics Center, in this case Tokyo Aquatics Center, and because of that though, we'll hopefully try to able to find Bowser Jr., but in addition to Bowser Jr., oh, we got ourselves Wendy O. Cooper right here. Looks like he's still got the Tokyo 64 console. You guys again, do you ever give up? Hey, where'd you guys get this game thingy from? Huh? Where? Me and Prince Bowser Jr. were looking at it and we saw King Bowser and Eggman in it. And they were competing in the Olympic Games with Mario and Sonic. Who in the world made this thing? It smells mighty fishy. Right, they've been chasing me non-stop, demanding I give the game back. It's seriously fishy. Stop right there. I think it's about time for you to be handling that game back. Yeah. Who cares about that? I was just asking a question. When you talk like that, it just makes me even more suspicious. Prince Bowser Jr., you can't give the game back to these people. If you want it back so that bad, then take me on and win. Fine, I take you on, then. I have zero tolerance for those who break their promises. Alright, onwards to the second guest character type of unlockable thing, and that was the fact that we now compete against with Wendy in 100-meter freestyle swimming. And yes, just like in Rio 2016 Olympic Games, that she will become a guest character in this specific event, as you can see here. However, the biggest differences between this than the likes of how it does in Rio 2016 Olympic Games counterpart is the fact that, well, I'm pretty sure this might be something to do with the different camera angle when you're participating in this event, as you can tell. However, though, it might actually act out pretty similar to the ones in, well, the similar camera angle as you remember from London 2012 Olympic Games. That usually the camera always just stuck up as in focus from the back, as you can see. So yeah, basically, you're going to get a lot of usage on the actual analog stick controls most of the time. Especially noticeable if you ever play this with the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, or even in this case, you can able to actually play with the actual Joy-Con controllers. But then again, no, we're probably not gonna touch upon that anytime soon, just because, well, obviously, as you can see, we did already beat Wendy right here. And sure enough, we're able to actually unlock her after when the, well, text boxes have been finished. I lost, but I was so sure I was the best swimmer. Oh, my poor wandering pride. You people are so cruel. I can't believe you'll do something like this to such a delighted madam like me. Again, I do apologize for that little dialogue error. You think maybe you might be milking like one a little. Like this one a little, sorry. No. All I did was win fair and square. You're acting like I'm some kind of villain. But I'm gonna cry. Gotcha. Now, Prince, take the game to Eggman Nega and show it to him. And sure enough, he got away from that. She pulled one over on us. Duh. We gotta have Eggman Nega figure out what the deal is with that game. Until then, Prince Bowser Jr. is going to keep it. That might be pretty unfair for that regard. Or maybe. Luigi, things could get messier if Eggman Nega gets his hands on that game. Let's go look for Eggman Nega 2. And there you go, folks. That way we can now play as Wendy in 100-meter freestyle swimming anytime during the quick match mode, as you can tell. So before we leave this particular area, is the fact that we need to find those little particular question trivia kind of tickets and stuff like that. So that way we can able to learn more about the forms of that particular stuff. And yeah, it turns out the front crawl was actually the best way to able to speed things up a notch. Well, for the most part anyway. So obviously she wears the pink shoes, as you can see right here, or some heels, whatever you want to call it. But either way though, I think that pretty much takes care of it from here from now on. Even though if we do actually missing out on something, specifically with those other you know, tickets and all that stuff while we're talking to NPCs and all that stuff. But then again, we'll discuss on that later, because for now, we're going to be heading back over to here, in this case by the forms of that particular, you know, with the exact same location as we went to before, you know, with the Nippon Bakana Ken, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, we're too late. There's Eggman Nega. I thought this was nothing more than a toy, and yet this game is deeply ingrating. Some sort of video game in which Eggman and Bowser compete with Mario, Sonic and Mario. Again, I do apologize with the dialogue error, but anyway, whoever could have constructed it, this is a mystery worth looking at. Right, I want to know too. I think it's about time for you to give the game back. You've played it enough, right? Why won't you people quit? It's just a regular old game, isn't it? If you want it back so bad, then try and beat Eggman Nega in karate. Yes, I was just about to enter. Do you think you can defeat me? If so, by all means, let us meet on the mat. But sure I emerge victorious, I will keep the device for the time being. Still, want to give it a try? And it looks like we have another guest character introduced in this particular game. Well, technically speaking, that he does make a return as a guest character since the 3DS version of Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. But usually he just always takes place in, let's just say in long jump. But this time around though in Tokyo 2020, that he's now competing in the forms of karate. So even then though, speaking of karate, this is one of those another new events introduced in the forms of the Olympic Games history. That is the fact that, well, we need to get a certain amount of points until you're able to actually win the entire event. So yeah, basically we just have to make it to 10 points to win. So even then though, it kind of reminds me of something related to Taekwondo, but except the fact that, well, as you can see, during the actual events themselves, much like the forms of London 2012 Olympic Games, as well as, you know, the Rio 2016 Olympic Games for that matter, certain characters, well, usually relatively speaking, well, specifically for girls most likely, but for everyone else though, like Luigi as you can see, along with others as well, this is actually the first time ever they actually managed to wear some different amount of clothing depending on what events they're going to be competing on, such as for instance, as you can see, they're about to be wearing a karate suit on every time whenever you compete against with someone in karate mode. So even then though, it seems pretty cool, and also same applies to any other events as well, which again we'll discuss onto those during the future parts of this particular Let's Play itself. So either way, and I'm pretty sure enough though, we'll unlock Eggman Nega. And hopefully we should get ourselves our game back. Okay, hand the game over. Bah, do you wish with this thing? It is no concern of mine. You can't be serious. Hey, come on, you have to investigate that game. I brought it all the way here. Ah, I remember now. Haha, yes, I see. What? What do you remember? Hehehe. The concept of this game, or for this game, is something Eggman thought of long ago. Huh? Okay, and? In essences, this game system is unmistakably one of Eggman's creations. What? And Mario, Sonic, and Dad got stuck into it? I'm so sick of hearing that joke. Ugh. We told you, it's not a joke, it's the truth. Even Luigi gets the point. Huh. If that's true, then we'll definitely can't give back the device. I need to do some serious analysis and find a way to return Eggman and Bowser to the real world. Yay, we gotta save Dad and Eggman. Let's get out of here, Eggman Nega. Hehehe. Well, I'll hang on to this game system for the moment then. Wait! This is a mess, just like I thought. If Eggman Nega gets a chance to analysis the game and free Bowser and Eggman, Sonic and Mario might end up trapped in there forever. Yeah, we gotta do something to get that game system back. So you know we can use Eggman NECA anytime in Karate, so that way we can able to actually play as him, and if you somehow manage to able to compete against with Eggman, well, basically it'll just become like some sort of like the Sonic Rush kind of vibes all over again, except the fact that, well, they compete against each other or something, so... Anyway, so let's go ahead and fetch some of those, you know, the question tickets kind of ways and all that stuff. So, but either way, there's not much else to it though, apart from the fact that we can able to look on certain facts on some of these other characters themselves, as you already know. But either way though, I think that pretty much takes care of it from here. Well, first of all, if you want to find someone, you should try asking Vector. He said he was planning to compete in the discus throw at the Olympic Stadium. So yeah, in this case in particular is the fact that we need to head back over to the Olympic Stadium, because that way we can now able to do some more things during the forms of, well, specifically multitude of things. Like, for instance, we need to meet up with Vector, the crocodile, in the forms of the Olympic Stadium itself. And, seems to be more specifically we can't do anything else other than that, so yeah. Luigi, there's Vector. Let's ask him to help us find Eggman NECA and Bowser Jr. And immediately after that particular dialogue right here, we'll instantly dive right into the next chapter, Chapter 6, Another Showdown. Which I think the last time we left off is the fact that somehow Bowser managed to obtain one of the gold medals, as you can see on screen right here, so... I wonder what they're planning for anyway. That's the way, Bowser. With that menacing hedgehog and his pals gone, this is a walk in the park. We'll keep Mario and Sonic in the dark as we collect an armful of gold medals. Whoa ho 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 ho! I was a bit panicked at first when we got stuck into the game. I'm a genius to have programmed this hidden trick, if I do say so myself. Don't you agree, Bowser? Are you trying to brag, or do you want me to tell you how great you are? Well, it could be. Both. Once we get out of here, we'll praise you till the Goombas come home. Very well, let's keep going and win a gold medal in the next event, too. I shall demonstrate my genius. Eggman, Bowser, sorry to burst your bubble, but we know all about your scheme. You know, the one with the gold medals and the trick to get back to the real world. What are you talking about? I knew nothing of it. I never heard of any trick. I heard everything you said. You're both really loud. No, you sneaky little shroom. They know it all now. Guess this means it's not much of a secret trick anymore. Gah, fine. If the secret's out, then yes. If we gather up gold medals, we can return to the real world and you're not stopping us. Now that we know how to get back, we're not sitting back and letting you do whatever you want. Oh, you dare to take me on this in the next event? That event, my little blue and red friends, is the vault, a specialty of mine. Not even you can outdo me, Mario. Eggman, go get that gold medal. Which we'll definitely go ahead and just compete against with Dr. Eggman in Gymnastics Vault. And basically we have to do a certain, you know, quick timing reactions, as you can see, when you jump in midair. Although before we get onto that actually, we'll just go ahead and, well, if you pass me the controller, Sonic, then I would able to actually just to go for super hard mode, so that way we can able to actually be, you know, the pro on this particular event. And because I think we did technically already play this before in the demo version, I don't know, just because it has been a couple of days since I actually tried out the demo, and yeah, that's pretty terrible. We'll try that again. But then again though, it takes a bit of practice though, but either way though, because of how the fact that, you know, something's worth mentioning for this point too is the fact that in the 1964 portion of those events only be played with only buttons because, well, as you remember back in the old days, motion controls doesn't exist until when it gets to the point until likely in the future, because of how the fact that they actually do some quite a number of things with the motion controls in hand. But either way though, enough about that. Looks like it's a pretty good result for that. And now it's time for the second attempt, which I'm pretty sure, just like in the DS version of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Vault event, that basically you only have like 2 attempts in order to be able to actually compete in this event. And sure enough, Mario does have managed to get himself his best score, and sure enough, you're able to actually get ourselves 2 achievements, which as you can see on screen, we got 1 and another 1 straight after. So even then, yeah, pretty cool, swell stuff, if I have to say so for this point right here. So either way though, and I think we'll still go and continue for this point right here. Which, honestly, we might as well able to do that, because, you know, you nailed it, Mario. Nobody can top us. Let's keep this win stroke going. Ah, those Medusaurs. But, Eggman, don't you have some kind of trick to stop them? You made this world, right? But as you can see on screen, there's still a question ticket still laying around. I didn't program any tricks like that. Keep your show on, Bowser. After all, they don't know what to do once they actually get the gold medals. Wait, I'm just getting the gold medals isn't enough. Why didn't I realize that? And after that, we immediately go back into the Tokyo 2020 era and dive right into the next chapter. In this case, Chapter 7, Time for Analysis. Seems like a plan after all, for the oldest sake of time. Luigi, there's Vector. Let's ask him to help us find Eggman, Neko, and Bowser Jr. Even though it's the exact same dialogue as we heard from before, but either way, let's talk to Vector and just ask him, you know. Hey! Luigi, Tails, what's happening, guys? You here to give the discus throw a shot? Better warn you though, I'm about to enter myself, so there is no chance of winning. Hey. Whoa. Wait. Hold up, that sounds pretty serious. We gotta get that game system back, pronto. Exactly, which is why we like you to help us look for Eggman, Neko, and Bowser Jr. That's gonna come down to one thing, my fee. Oh. It's that, or take me on in a discus throw and win. Wanna say? Wanna go? Fair enough. If you help us if we win, then I'll just have to win. Alright, let's get to throwing. Okay then, let us begin the forms of discus throw, and that particular event does make a return since during the forms of in London 2012 Olympic Games, except the fact that now we have to deal with the forms of not only for the button controls, but also the motion controls at the same time, as you can see on this little, you know, how to play video sequences and all that stuff. It doesn't matter what control types you're going to be using, but you still have to rely on motion controls. But if you ever play this game, or if you ever played this particular event with the GameCube controller, the event itself will be unplayable if you're able to use the GameCube controller. So, yeah, basically, the Pro controller is my preferred option. So, and yeah, before you're able to begin, we have to deal with the forms of that practice sequence, as you can see right here. So just in case you can able to actually get, you know, the hang of the forms of that particular event itself. So anyways, let's go ahead and toss it from... Oh, great. We have to take a guess here. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Let me just try it again. Again, it does take a while to get used to after playing through London 2012 Olympic Games, I'm pretty sure. But either way though, when you get the hang of it though, it might not be so bad. It's just the fact that it's just one of those events it might actually be pretty difficult to get a hold of. So, but as long as we can able to actually be okay with this though, because after all, we're still in the, well, I would say we almost at the halfway point of story mode. So, aggressively I know is the fact that the actual computer players will start to get a little bit more better than the likes of how it does in the beginning portion of the game. So, at least we did pretty decent though. It's just the fact the matter is though, is the fact that I feel like the tilting part, you know, you have to deal with the actual angle kind of stuff. I think this is where things gets pretty tricky if you really want to go for the really good angle. Or, for the sake of time though, Mario, we actually did pretty okay at the end, because, you know, we got 36 degrees angle, and we should able to conquer our victory. Oh yeah, that probably explains for that fact. But you know, you get the idea, but either way though, that pretty much takes care of discus throw. But then again, it does take a while to get used to with, like, multitasking stuff like the actual button controls, as well as the actual tilting stuff for, you know, the angle of decreases or something. Ah, I can't believe I lost to you, Tails, but you're really something else. Well, I promised, so I'll help you find Eggman Nigger. Let's do it. I'm a pro at this stuff, so we have him sniffed out in no time flat. Great, thanks Vector. When you're looking for someone, you want to have lots of help gathering info. Check it out, there's Toadette over there, let's get her to help out too. Oh really? Toadette is actually in the game this time around? Ah, that probably explains that, okay. So now Vector joins in our team after all, so even then though, let's go all the way to the left, and sure enough, we'll meet up with Toadette just around the corner. Even though technically we've already seen her, so... Oh, Tails and Luigi, what's going on? You're looking for Eggman Nigger and Bowser Jr.? Well, I just got here, but I haven't seen them anywhere. Then how's about you let us a hand finding them? Oh, just like detectives. Sounds like fun, but I'm actually about to enter an event. I know what if we compete together. I've been searching for someone who could challenge me. Once the event is over, I'll help you. Well, you're not gonna say no to a request like that, are we? Leave this to me. I'll take Toadette up on her challenge. Oh, thanks. You better be ready, though. I'm gonna give it all. Or give my all, I should say. I'd expect no less. I'll give a 100% too. And now we get a chance to able to actually compete against with Toadette in 110-meter hurdles, which not only does she able to actually make her first ever playable debut in the Olympic Games kind of series, but also for the first time ever that Toadette she's now appeared in any of the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series, well, at least in terms of she's now gonna be competing in the Olympics this time around. Yeah, anyway. So basically, in 110-meter hurdles, as you can see right there, all you have to do is basically you have to like jump over the hurdles, and just like in London 2012 Olympic Games counterparts, then you have to able to time your jumps well enough, so that way you can able to actually get yourselves a boost of win. Well, in this case, if you do manage to at least successfully trying to do a perfect timing on that last hurdle, then you get yourselves a massive boost at the end. So yeah, it seems pretty cool to able to let Toadette now finally compete in the Olympic Games for the first time, mainly in Tokyo 2020 most likely, as you probably already see that coming. Aw, I lost. You were really good, Silver. I'm pretty sure no one can hold a candle to me in the hurdles. With that done, we now gonna find Eggman, Neko, and Bowser Jr. so we can get that game back. So, I want all of ya to split up and gather info to figure out where they went. We can't just leave the game in Eggman Neko's hands. Yeah, you can't just take people's things and disappear. That's wrong with a capital W. If we all go around gathering information, I'm sure we'll be able to learn where they are in no time flat. Alright everyone, get those fine-toothed combs out, because we've got some questioning to do. And sure enough, they were able to go out somewhere. Luigi, Tails, we'll catch up again later. Alright Luigi, we should get to work too. And now we've unlocked Toadette in 110-meter hurdles, so yeah, pretty surprising actually though, still as we mentioned earlier, but either way though, before we're able to actually leave the Olympic Stadium for the time being, we'll just go ahead and find those little, you know, question tickets and stuff like that. Yeah, there are about 10 hurdles to jump over, and let's just say 17. Yep, because we already know Toadette ever since in Mario Kart Double Dash, and also same applies to Mario Party 6, and all the other stuff though, basically. So either way though, in fact, before you're able to actually leave, there's also another one of those question tickets here and there too, but except this time it's in Discus Throw, and all about Vector, and his favorite thing is of course money, because you know, he wants to be rich basically, you know, ever since in Journey forms have been Sonic Heroes, in the opening sequence in Team Chaotix's story, that's basically because of how the fact that he just wants like money and cash and all that stuff, but if you remember from the ending from Sonic Heroes that Eggman never seemed able to give Vector any cash at all, so yeah, anyway though, enough about that, and I think simply to say we got the endings off here, so join us next time for more of Let's Play of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, that we still need to go after Eggman, Neko and stuff, so see you guys until on Wednesday.